Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sydney International Shooting Centre. We've got the second final on day 6. There's 3 finals today and this is the R9 mixed 50 metre rifle prone SH2 category. The SH2 means that the athletes have a more severe disability than the SH1 category, and we'll see during the final some extra support that they have in terms of human resources and physical resources as well. My name is Shaq. Thank you very much for joining me on the live stream today, and I'm really pleased to be joined by the now retired rifle prone shooter, Olympic shooter, Warren Poton of Australia. Warren, good to see you as always.
Oh, thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Well, we're 2 minutes away from the start of the competition. The athletes are just taking some sighting and preparation shots right now. But I think it's important to explain to our viewers what the weather is like today, particularly the wind, because this final, as we can see on screen in the top right-hand side, it's an outside final. It's 50 metres, and the wind is really playing a part today.
It has been, yeah. It's been very strong today, I've noticed, and we'll put the scores down a fair bit because the SH2 shooters can shoot some very high scores, but today I think with the wind would have taken 10, 15 points off easily, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, you can see on screen at the moment you've got these red wind flags on the field of play, and when they are blowing, it obviously means that the wind is blowing. But the significant thing about this is obviously when the pellet leaves the rifle, it has to reach 50 metres all the way to the black circles that you can see there. Of course, that isn't the size of the actual 10 ring, but the thing is that when it moves outside to get to the target, it's going to be affected by the wind.
Oh, it will be for sure, yeah. The wind today easily move it up to 15, 20 millimetres of a strong gust easily, so it's going to be very tricky for them out there this final.
Yeah, we've looked at the wind speed today around our venue. It's about 34 kilometres an hour, and you compare that to next Monday and Tuesday, for example, where it's just down to 6. So it really is an exceptionally windy day today. So we might expect some lower scores during the final than we would do as on a regular day, let's say. But if we look at the qualification results today, we can see that the top qualifier was Vasyl Kovalchuk of Ukraine. He finished qualification with a score of 614.5. Now that is almost 10 points. No, it is more than 10 points below the qualification record. So that tells you something.
Certainly does, yeah. It just shows how much the wind was doing to him today.
Well, we're just about 10 seconds away from the end of the sighting time, and then our announcer on the field of play, Jamie Stangram, will introduce the 8 athletes to us. I'd also like to tell you that in today's final, 4 quota places were given away for Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, meaning that the athletes could win quota spots for their nations to compete at next year's Paralympic Games. And the 4 quota places went to Ireland, Germany and Russia, and those 3 came from the finalists. And then outside of the top 8, Norway also won a quota place as well. So congratulations to all of them.
So let's meet the athletes.
So we're just about ready to be introduced to the 8 athletes.
Representing Serbia. He made the R9 final at last year's World Championships in Korea, and this year took World Cup gold in Croatia. Let's give a Sydney welcome to Dragan Ristic.
Firing point A is Dragan Ristic, the Serbian. He already won silver in the R5 event a few days ago, and in fact missed the World Championship title in that event by just 0.1. James Bevis of Great Britain also makes his second final of the World Championships. He finished 5th in the R5 event.
On a firing point C, representing Ukraine. He's the silver medalist from the World Championships in Korea 2018 with 3 R9 World Cup medals to his name. That name is Vasyl Kovalchuk. On a firing point D, representing the United States of America. She's today appearing in her first R9 final at a World Championship. She placed 5th this year at the World Cup in Croatia. Give it up for McKenna Dahl. On firing point E, representing Ireland. He's also making his debut appearance at a World Championships final in this event, and he placed World Cup 4th in France 2018. It's Phil Eaglesham. Hello, Ireland. Moving on over to firing point F, representing Germany.
Phil Eaglesham, we just saw, from the Republic of Ireland, and the first Irish representative in any final at this World Championships. We were also just saying that McKenna Dahl of the USA competed at the Lima 2019 Para-Pan American Games, and she won gold in R4 and silver in R5, so 2 medals at the Para-Pan Games. We saw Tim Focken of Germany. He has yet to win a career medal. On screen, that was Antonina Zhukova. This is her first ever international final in any competition.
And he's back again, this time looking for his first R9 medal. It's Vitaly Plakushi.
And finally, Vitaly Plakushi. Well, he took part in the R4 competition on day 2 of these World Championships, and he became the world champion in that event. He placed 5th in this R9 competition last year at the World Cup in the United Arab Emirates. And from that country is also the jury member in charge, Sumaya Imamuddin, who just stood up for the crowd. And it's Rod Sampson, the Chief Range Officer. So this is good, Warren, because we've got a couple of first-time finalists here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do, because often you do see in these events the experience really really takes hold, and we see a lot of familiar faces, and there are some familiar faces, but especially the Russian and the Irish. Good to see them in the final.
Oh, it always is great to see them in the final. It's always good to see someone new in the final. It's going to be a great experience for them, and sometimes someone new in the final, of course, they just have an attitude that the first final, I'm just going to have fun, and
exactly.
Sometimes just having fun is all they need to do to win sometimes.
Well, we know how much a role the mentality plays in this sport, and so, you know, just by getting to the final, they've already achieved a personal best in some way, so the pressure's a little bit off. They know they've done well, so let's see if they can continue that momentum during the final itself.
Yeah, hopefully all have a good final and sort of really personal best with the final. Yeah, as I said, as long as they can enjoy it and walk away having fun with it.
Well, we'd like to point the viewers to the on screen where you can see some extra people on the field of play. Now, we call these loaders. In the SH2 event, the loaders are able to give the shooters some assistance in any permissible way, and usually this may mean adjusting the position of the rifle just slightly, but also to load the ammunition before each shot. This is one of the key roles during the final for the loaders. And in the prone event, we can see that the shooters rest their elbows on tables. So this gives them some stability. Also, you have the extra added mechanism of a spring. A spring is loaded onto the table, which helps hold the rifle in place, because some of, if not all of these shooters may not have the upper body strength to hold and support the 4 to 5 kilogram rifle themselves. So the table and the spring provide the physical support, and then you have the loaders to provide the ammunition support and load the rifles if necessary during the final. So it's 2 minutes 30 seconds to shoot one series of 5 shots.
This is where the pole speeds start to race for some of them.
First shots are coming off. The German Focken with a 9.5, Kowalczuk a good shot to start at 10.7, Eaglesham 10.6, and a 10.7 from McKenna Dahl as well. So Kowalczuk, McKenna Dahl, Eaglesham with the good first shots, but already we can see a few 9s, and again we remind our viewers that we're not often seeing 9s in the prone SH2 category, so we can already tell the wind is playing its part.
It will with this finals horse. One of the most difficult finals horses you can actually fire on this one, so you're going to have a lot of fun and probably a few frustrations, but yeah, sometimes difficult conditions what you need for the cream to get to the top sometimes.
We just saw James Bevis on screen now shake his head. He shot a couple of 9s. A little bit of frustration for him at the beginning of this competition. But Warren, you were saying something interesting while we were off air. You were saying that the shooters wouldn't really want to be on firing points A and H at either end. Why is that?
No, because it's such a small area which opens out to the range. You've got the wind coming in and out, especially a windy day like today. And on the end, you had the wind going around the walls. And that shows, gives a condition or gives a wind you can't see on the flag. So it makes it very difficult, and you get some wind there you can't see, nothing you can do about it. While those in the middle get more laminar flow, and it's a little bit kinder to them.
Vasyl Kovalchuk of Ukraine has shot his second 10.7 of the competition. And he finishes with a 10.5. That's a really good score for Kovalchuk, a 51.9. This is McKenna Dahl, who is the Parapan American champion in the R4 competition. Phil Eaglesham, first-time finalist, I beg your pardon, he did finish 4th in a previous final, but first time at the World Championships in the finals, is doing well. He shot a couple of 9s, but a 50.6 to end his series, a 51.4 from McKenna Dahl, so she's done really well. She's 0.5 behind the leader Kovalchuk. So that's the end of a very quick first series of 5 shots.
Yeah, 51.9, 51.4. In those conditions, that's really good shooting, to be honest.
Yeah. James Bevis down at the bottom with 49.5. He'll want to improve on that in the second series of 5. There's still 7 shots until the first elimination, so there's a chance to make up some ground. But it's Kovalchuk, Dahl and Ristic in the top 3 positions, but only a 0.1 between 3rd and 4th at the moment. So now we start the second series of 5. A 10.9 from Tim Focken of Germany. Perfect start to the second series. Well, all 8 shooters hit the 10 with their first shot, so that's a good start. A 10.6 for Focken. That's follows up a 10.9. Very good shooting. McKenna Dahl hit the 9 ring with their second shot. Eaglesham with a couple of very good shots so far, 10.5 and 10.4. This is Zhukova in her first ever international final, the Russian. Couple of 9s came in from Plakushi, the Ukrainian, who you can see on screen at the moment. And Eaglesham, he hit a 9 as well. Seems like a better series for James Bevis, a couple of 10s so far. Tim Focken, as it stands, has moved his way into second place. Some steady 10s across the board. Ristic, the Serbian, his 5th shot at 10.1. He finishes on 51.6, which is a 0.7 improvement over his first series. This is James Bevis lining up to take his 5th and final shot of the series, the British shooter. He takes it, and it's a 10 even. Well, that's a really good improvement for James Bevis. 49.5 was his first series. He's improved that by 1.3. Vitaly Plakushi also improved on his first series by a 1.3. And James Bevis moves from 8th into 7th. So 3 of the shooters hit over 51 in that second series. They were Kovalchuk, Ristic and Focken, the top 3.
Yeah, all 3 on great 5-shot series then. So they're handling the weather very well.
Plakushi also hit over 51, as we mentioned. McKenna Dahl dropped Dropped about almost a couple of points. 1.8 she dropped between the first and the second series, and she is in 5th. So now we're into single shots. There's going to be 2 until the first elimination. Fokken and Dahl with a 10.4. 10.3s from 2 shooters from the UK, Bevis and Eaglesham. Zhukova 9.4. I think she's going to be in a bit of danger here because
unfortunately.
she's 1.7 adrift with the next shot, which is an elimination shot. You can see Kovalchuk on screen at the moment, who's the leader of the final by just 0.3. It's a small margin.
The next shot will decide who takes 8th place.
For the next competition shot, load.
So here is Antonina Zhukova, who needs to try and overturn 1.7, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it will be almost mission impossible, but you never know what happens in sports sometimes.
She thought she took her shot, but it was a 10.7 from Kovalchuk, the leader. A 10.6, it's a very good shot for Zhukova, but the damage was done, unfortunately. 10.9 came in from the American Dahl, but it is Antonina Zhukova who's going to take 8th place in this final. Well, congratulations to her, because it is her first ever final, and by appearing in the final, she did win Russia a quota spot for next year's Paralympic Games.
So she's got to be very happy with that. Just making a final at World Championships to be your first final, she's got to be very happy with that. Something she can think back on a little bit later. She'll be proud of herself.
Well done to her. Kovalchuk leading the final by 0.7. McKenna Dahl and Phil Eaglesham are in joint 4th place at the moment. James Bevis has got a couple of shots to overturn, or try and overturn, a 1-point deficit between him and Plakushi.
For the next competition shot, load.
So the shooters lining up for their 13th shot now.
Start.
9.7 from the German Fokken, who's in 3rd place. A 10.9 from Ristic. And 9.9 from Bevis. Oh, when he looked quite frustrated at that. He had a little look at his screen after he shot, and he didn't like that shot. He's now 1.5 adrift, so it's going to be difficult for Bevis as well. Well, Ristic, the Serbian, is now only 0.1 behind Kovalchuk after shooting that perfect 10.9. Eaglesham, the Irish shooter, moves into 3rd.
So the next shot is shot 14, the 7th place.
For the next competition shot, load.
14th shot. I think Bevis knows he's in danger here.
Yeah, he doesn't look overly happy, which is
No.
a bit of a shame.
Start.
Unfortunate. It's been a little bit of a tough competition for him. 10.6 from Plakushi, 10.8 from Eaglesham. He's going to close the gap on 2nd position a little bit, the Irish shooter. It's a great shot from James Bevis, a 10.6, but it did come a little bit late, I'm afraid. So it's 7th place for Great Britain's James Bevis. It is his 2nd final at this year's World Championships, though.
Yeah, good World Championships.
Yeah. He finished 5th in the R5 competition a couple of days ago. Well, Dragan Ristic of Serbia has taken the lead in this final for the first time. It's just a 0.2 difference, and it is a 2.2 difference between the 6 remaining athletes. It's really close. Dahl and Fokken in joint 5th at the moment. Eaglesham has done really well to close the gap onto 2nd. It's just 0.6 between him and the silver position at the moment. We're looking at Dragan Ristic on screen at the moment, an experienced shooter. He's already won gold at the World Cup in Croatia this year in this particular event, and he did win silver in this last week in the R5 competition. He shoots a 10.1. A 10.7 came in from Plakushi. Well, McKenna Dahl has some deficit to make up here. She's 0.7 from safety, and she just hit the 9 ring as well.
Shot 16 now.
For the next competition shot. Load.
So Fokken in 5th, McKenna Dahl in 6th, 0.7 between them in favour of the German. Fokken shoots, it's a 9.9. McKenna Dahl has got a chance, has she? Has to be a really high shot though. Has to be at least a 10.6. And it's not, it's a 10.2. And that's going to confirm 6th place for the American McKenna Dahl.
Yeah, just looking where the shot's landing. Looks like it's not good throwing bad shots. Looks like just the wind's blowing the shots left and right. So, yeah, it's a difficult final for him.
Well, she's had a good summer, as we said. She won 2 medals at the Lima 2019 Para-Pan American Games, and she's not so experienced in the finals of R9, and she finishes 5th, 6th, which is very respectable at the World Championships, so well done to her.
Yeah, very respectable.
Well, Phil Eaglesham, the Irish shooter, and only his 2nd final in this event now, is leading the final by 0.2. Ristic, the Serbian, hit the 9 ring, and that has allowed Eaglesham to jump all the way to the top. 2 places, in fact. He's never won any medals in this event either. He placed 4th at the World Cup in France last year, Eaglesham. 10.6 from Plakushi, 10.7 from Ristic, a 10 even from Eaglesham, so Ristic going to take the lead once again. But the 2 Ukrainians, there's a little bit of a change there now, because Kowalczuk hit the 9 ring. A 10.6 from Plakushi means that he moves into the medal positions. There's a total of 2 points between the 5 remaining athletes now.
Still very close. You think about after 18 shots, there's nothing in it.
It's only 2 points, and that's between 5 athletes, so I think it's going to be a good end to the final. Athletes lining up to take their 18th shot, and the next one will decide the 5th place. Fokken in 5th, Kowalczuk in 4th. 0.6 between them. Fokken is quick to shoot. It's a good shot. It's a 10.5. Kowalczuk shoots a 9.7. I think Fokken has saved himself. He has. So that's Vasil Kowalczuk, who takes 5th place in this final. Well, he placed 4th in the R5 competition a few days ago. He won silver in this event at last year's World Championships, and it's 5th now for Vasil Kowalczuk. Well, that was a really good shot from the German, Tim Fokken. He's never won any medals. He's going well here.
Going well, yeah. He's still got a bit of work to do, but at least he's not far from. He's just knocking on the door. This is probably the worst shot for any of them, because it's last 4, and he's going to, the next 2 shots decide who's going to be on the podium.
Yeah. Well, he's going well so far. Tim Fokken 0.9 behind Eaglesham, who's now slipped down to 3rd. The Serbian Ristic has taken the lead in the final once again. $10.8 from Ristic. Fokken 9.7. Well, the other 3 hit 10s, but the German hit a 9.7, so it looks like, unless something crazy happens, he might miss out on a medal. Ristic with a very, very good, an excellent 10.8. So Fokken is now 1.6 from safety, and there's 1 shot It's a lot to ask for.
Yeah, there's lots in this particular discipline. Yeah, 1 point. If it's half a point, you say, yeah, good, go for it. He's going to be, if you got to get a very deep 10, and I shouldn't say it, but yeah, sort of hope the next person doesn't, but you don't want someone a bad shot. So
that's the reality.
Yeah.
You want to stay in the final. You hope that your competitors don't shoot well, but they have been shooting pretty well. So, yeah, that confirms it. So Tim Focken finishes in 4th place at the World Championships, but you'd say that's a big success because he's a young guy. By appearing in the final, he did win Germany a quota place for next year's Paralympic Games, and it's only his 2nd ever R9 final and his best ever finish. So
yeah, well, he's only getting better, isn't he? So that's good for him.
Well done to him.
Got to be happy with that when you're your personal best in a position, let alone score. So yeah, good on him.
Well done to him. Well, Plakushi has now taken the lead in the final, but just by 0.1. There is less than 1 point between the 3 remaining athletes. I wouldn't bet against some changes with the last 4 shots, but it's the Ukrainian who's now leading.
It's one situation was that close. It's making me nervous watching him now.
Well, if Plakushi holds on to first position, you know what that means? It means he's going to become a double world champion because he won gold in R4 on the 2nd day of the World Championships. All 10s, really fast shots. The highest was a 10.5. It was from Eaglesham, but the positions don't change.
He just stretches lead just a little bit, but
yeah,
0.5. Still, he has 0.8 between all 3. Anyone can walk away with the bronze here.
Yeah, it's super close. 0.8 between the 3 remaining. It's Plakushi, Ristic and Eaglesham. And Eaglesham has a 0.5 to overturn if he wants to get higher than a bronze here. Ristic, a really experienced shooter. Already won silver in R5. Oh, it's a 9.1 from Eaglesham. Definitely going to be bronze then. Well, it was a disappointing shot to end, but it is his first medal in the R9 competition, the Irish shooter, only his 2nd ever R9 final. And listen to that.
Got a bronze medal, you can't complain, I'll be happy.
A really good support for Phil Eaglesham. Very well done to him. It's a bronze medal at the World Championships in only his 2nd ever final, and he did win Ireland a quota place for Tokyo 2020 as well. So very well done. I know he was disappointed by that last shot, but it was a very, very good competition for him. Well done.
If you think about it, it's the World Championship, got a bronze medal. Regardless of where the last shot was, he goes into a bronze medal, so that's great.
Plakushi and Ristic are the 2 remaining. The advantage is with the Ukrainian. He's only 0.2 ahead. Now, in the R5 final the other day, Ristic won silver. In the R4 final, Plakushi won gold. Now, is it going to be that Plakushi becomes a double world champion, or is Ristic going to be able to become a world champion in 2019? A 10.8 from Ristic. And a 10.6 from Plakushi. It is joint. And do you know what? I have to say that in Ristic's final the other day, he also went into the last shot completely even.
I watched it online. It was amazing.
And he lost out by just 0.1. What's it going to be here? Can Ristic, the Serbian, become a world champion in 2019? Or is Plakushi going to become a double world champion? It's all to shoot for, and there is nothing to separate the 2 shooters. Ristic will want this after losing out by 0.1 the other day.
Oh, for sure. He'll be... Just a shame one's got to walk away for silvers.
Yeah.
Ristic
a shot. It's a 10 even. Plakushi. Oh! Well, Dragan Ristic has become the world champion, but look at this. He shot a 10 and Plakushi shot a 9.9. So the other day, when Ristic lost the world championship by 0.1, he now wins the world championship by 0.1.
Amazing.
Wow.
Well done.
Very well done.
Both shooters, just, nothing in it. You look where the shots are land,
Yeah.
superimposed next to each other. Just
Wow.
fantastic final this has been.
Well, that's great. Well, we remind you that both of these shooters now have gold and silver at these World Championships, so they are a world champion in one discipline at least. Very well done. Dragan Ristic finds a little bit of redemption after coming so close the other day. He is the world champion in the R9 mixed rifle prone SH2 category, and Vitaly Blakushi of Ukraine wins silver in this event, but is also a world champion in the R4 competition.
Yeah, that was a great final. It's fantastic watching it. All got to be proud of them, regardless if they finished 8th or in the medals. All got to be proud of themselves in this.
That was a really good final. As we said at the beginning, a real nice mix of vastly experienced and brilliant shooters with some inexperienced shooters as well. And they all provided a great challenge and can be proud of their participation.
Oh, for sure. And what was very difficult conditions as well.
Very difficult.
Of all days to be windy, it had to be today for
Yeah.
them.
Today is easily the windiest day of the World Championship so far. So the athletes are just being presented to the crowd before the victory ceremony. Here we have Phil Eaglesham from the Republic of Ireland, the first Irish representative in the finals at these World Championships, takes bronze and wins a quota for Ireland. Well done to him. A silver medal to add to his gold in R4, Vitaly Blakushi. He looks really happy for Ukraine. And a silver medal in R5, and now the world champion in R9 mixed rifle prone SH2 is Dragan Ristic of Serbia.
Congratulations, all of our medalists and all of our finalists.
Well, congratulations to those guys. Really good final.
Oh, it was a great final. I enjoyed watching it.
Well, thank you, Warren. It's always a pleasure to see you, and even more so doing a commentary with you in your home country. Really good to see you as always.
Oh, thank you very much. No, it's been an absolute pleasure, and yeah, I hope the competition's been good for everyone. I would have loved to have been out to watch all the competition, but unfortunately got to work. But
Yeah.
watched you online. It's been a great competition, and yeah, all the medal winners, congratulations. Everyone else just being there is just fantastic. I'm in awe of all these competitors, this competition.
Yeah. Just give us a quick brief on what you're doing now that you're retired.
Not a great deal actually, just working and spending more time with my wife. Do a little bit of shooting every now and then. Just enjoying life to a certain extent. Looking at do a little bit of club coaching, and hopefully down the track maybe become a national coach somewhere. So if there's a country looking for someone, I'm here.
Good advert. Good advert. Well, thanks a lot, Warren. Good as always to see you, and we wish you the best for the future, of course, and we hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Well, thank you for joining us at home on the live stream, or if you're watching it back, it's on the Facebook page for World Shooting Parasport, also the YouTube channel for the Paralympic Games. Thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you for the third and final on day 6 of the 2019 World Championships here in Sydney.
he's not picking up around the interception. So trying to and then I keep getting the message back. Why is the answer? So you don't answer. Why did you know better? Right.
That was good, right? Once we turned it all on. Still fit commentary test. Will it go to the
We'll go to the stream.
It will?
Yeah.
I can mute the stream for 2 seconds.
No, that's okay. I'll see you. Over.
Just turn us up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finals hall at the Sydney International Shooting Centre, SISC. Just wanted you to hear that applause. There's massive support out there, particularly for the bronze medalist here today. It's the victory ceremony for the final that we just saw, the R9 Mixed Rifle Prone SH2 category. And there the medalists have got themselves into position. It's going to be Clive Pugh, board member of Shooting Australia, to present the medals. And beside him on the left of your screen is Kath Fattel, president of Shooting Australia, who will accompany him and give the shooters some koala mascots. So the bronze medal is
Ireland goes to Phil Eaglesham.
Well, that is some of the loudest cheers that I've heard all week. It's Phil Eaglesham with the bronze medal, and I was having a good chat with the national coach of the Republic of Ireland, Ray Kane, just before this ceremony, and they are absolutely over the moon. He said that there has never been an Irish flag on the podium in the World Championships of Shooting. So Phil has really done something special here, because now he's also guaranteed that Ireland have a quota spot for Tokyo 2020. Now, he did go to Rio, but that was on a wild card and it wasn't always guaranteed. But he is guaranteed a spot for Ireland at the Paralympic Games next year. So very, very well done to Phil Eaglesham.
Representing Ukraine goes to Vitaly Plakushi.
Well, Vitaly Plakushi won gold and became the world champion in the R4 competition a few days ago. On day 2 it was. And he now wins silver. So he's got 2 shiny medals at the 2019 World Championships for Ukraine. Well done to Vitaly. And the gold medalist and world champion for Serbia.
And the gold medal and new world champion representing Serbia, Dragan Ristic.
Well, he's been involved in 2 great finals. In the R5 final, he went into the last shot even with his competitor, and he lost out on the gold by 0.1. in this final, the exact opposite happened. So Ristic went into the last shot completely even with Plakushi, and this time he won gold by 0.1. Fantastic. He's been involved in 2 great finals. So Dragan Ristic is the world champion in the R9 competition. Very, very well done to him. Congratulations to the 3 medalists in the R9 Mixed Rifle Prone SH2 category. Bronze medal for Phil Igusham, Vitaly Plakushi of Ukraine, silver, and gold medalist and world champion Dragan Ristic of Serbia in the center there. They look delighted, and they should be proud of their good work. We've got another victory ceremony coming up. It's going to be for the team scores in the same event. So it's going to be the R9 Mixed Rifle Prone Teams. There was no final. It's just a collation of the scores of athletes from various countries. And the top 3 scoring countries will win medals. We'll see you shortly.
Put that up the wrong way again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next victory ceremony for the World Shooting Parasport Championship Sydney 2019 is about to begin.
Welcome back to the finals hall at the Sydney International Shooting Centre. You join us for another victory ceremony related to the R9 competition, the mixed rifle prone SH2 category. And this is for the higher scores for the teams. So there's no final. It's just that the athletes for their various countries shot their qualification scores, and then they're added up and totaled. And then they're given medals based on their total scores.
This is the victory ceremony for the R9 mixed 50-meter rifle.
Jamie Stangram is the announcer.
The medals will be presented by Clive Pugh, board member of Shooting Australia.
Clive Pugh will once again present the medals, board member of Shooting Australia, and next to him, Kath Fattel, president of Shooting Australia, giving mascots to the athletes.
Go to Serbia.
Bronze medals in the team scores are awarded to Serbia. Dragan Ristic, Zdravko Savanovic, and Dejan Jokic. Those are the three athletes receiving the bronze medals. Their total score as a team was 1818.1. Kath Fattel handing out koala mascots.
The silver medals go to Ukraine.
Silver medals are awarded to Ukraine. As a team, their total score was 1828.1. And that's a whole 10 points ahead of bronze medal, which is maybe an indication of what the conditions were like out on the field today. The athletes are Vasil Kovalchuk on the left, in the center Vitaly Plakushi, and on the right hand side Yuri Matafonov.
The gold medals go to Great Britain.
Really, look how happy they are. You've got Lorraine Lambert up there, a rifle shooter, Paralympic shooter. You've got Steve Pengelly, a pistol coach, just to the right of her. And it's Great Britain. Yeah, Steve Pengelly on the right-hand side there. And their teammates, Great Britain, received the gold medal for the high score of 1829.7 today. That's 1.6 higher than the silver medalists. On the left, you've got James Bevis, who competed in the competition in the final. In the centre there, in the wheelchair, you've got Ryan Cockbill. And on the right-hand side, tall young guy with glasses is Tim Jeffrey. And their score of 1829 is almost 30 points below the qualifying world record, which the world record, which again is an indication of how strong the wind was today. Well done to the teams on their medals and their high scores today. We've got one more final today. It's going to be the P2 Women's Air Pistol SH1 category, and that's in just under an hour's time, so we hope you'll join us then.